Up in the sky! It's a bird!
It's a plane!
It's potential, man. Megumi once said,
俺たちはヒーローじゃない。呪術師だ。
and that line got me thinking, what even is heroism? And how anime portrays it? It doesn't sit right with me. For decades, it's always the villain trying to shake up society. They're the ones cooking plans, schemes, radical change, and the heroes, their job is to protect the status quo. But here's the thing, heroes aren't just stopping villains. They save people, they prevent tragedies, they risk their lives for others. So why do I feel weird about heroism in anime? When you think hero, what comes to mind? Saving someone in danger? Stopping a bad person from doing bad things?
Help me, please.
A reasonable answer, probably both. But in anime, heroism often gets warped. Take My Hero Academia, for example. It's hard to get more classic hero than that. It's probably the best example for how classic heroes are portrayed in anime. But you can't make an entire action anime just about saving lives. I mean, that's kind of boring. You want fights, flashy powers, epic showdowns. So the focus shifts. The hero becomes the brand, not the act. It's almost always framed as a competition, and that is where things get a little bit odd for me. Who can save the most people? Who ranks the highest? Who's the flashiest? Look at My Hero Academia. Bakugo wants to prove he's a hero. The system rewards him for effectiveness.
Why did a damn small fry like you get strong and become the #1 hero's sidekick? His favorite!
Todoroki wants to prove that he's a better hero than his father, that he's different from his father, that he can become a hero without using his father's quirk. Deku wants to be a hero because of All Might. He wants to save people with a smile. Deku is the closest thing to being a hero. The rest are just trying to be competition. The rest are trying to rank higher. Because even Endeavor, if you look at his main motive, he wanted to create a hero that could surpass All Might. The focus isn't on saving lives anymore. It's on who can save the most lives. And you can say I'm being too picky with Hero Society. There's not many examples that I've personally watched, but another example I can give you is One Punch Man. Even though it's a parody, it emphasizes efficiency over ethics. Heroism becomes numbers and ranks instead of selfless deeds. The heroes in anime feel like objects. Maybe this isn't just a writing preference, it reflects Japanese society. Heroes in anime are often public servants. They exist within rigid structures. The Hero Association, the Fire Force, Jujutsu Society, they have jobs, they save lives as part of duty, not moral choice. Megumi's line hits differently in this context.
俺たちはヒーローじゃない。呪術師だ。
They save people, sure, but it's their job, not a heroic calling. And in fact, Jujutsu Sorcerers is even more different. They aren't necessarily supposed to be saving lives. It's just that their actions happen to save lives. As well as Demon Slayers. They're not heroes. They're kind of like mercenaries, in a way. Assassins, or if you would. I don't know if assassin is the right way, but their job is to kill demons. And in killing demons, they end up saving lives in the process. But that's the thing. If you look at anime and how it's structured, for the animes that distinctively call their characters heroes and for the ones that don't, they kind of share the same structure, but anime heroes have to phrase themselves differently. And what about heroes in My Hero Academia? It may seem like their main objective is to save lives, but in reality, it's to stop rampant quirk abusers, people that are using quirks for evil. The duty is to stop first, save later. And it's just a form of heroism that it's very odd to me. Compare this to Western heroes. Spider-Man, Batman, Superman. Well, okay, maybe Batman is not the best use here, but the heroism is often personal choice. They act outside bureaucracy, outside ranking systems. The act itself matters more than the brand. Most of the time. Unlike when Avengers and Sokovia Accord and whatever. But most of the time, the heroes in Western stories, it's kind of like a hobby, like a very dangerous hobby. So, anime heroes feel like product.
You are simply bad product.
At the end of the day, you may they say, does it really matter as long as the end result is someone getting saved? But then the problem with heroes as a structure, heroes as a bureaucracy, it basically means for heroes to remain relevant, chaos must endure.
I don't know who you are, but this is your fault! You're gonna pay!
Because if you look at the Hero Society in My Hero Academia, they kinda need villains to stay alive. They kinda need villains to continue wreaking havoc. Because these are jobs. They're getting funded by governments. They're getting funded by someone. The Demon Slayers are getting, I don't know. I think they're getting funded? Something like that.
俺たちはヒーローじゃない。呪術師だ。
The problem with heroism as a structure is it kind of feels like the pharmaceutical industry. Yeah, you want to save people, you want to cure people, but then if everyone's cured, what's your purpose? You know, is purpose a lie? I know I keep shoehorning this video in it, but it's one of my greatest videos that I've made. So what do you think about it? Heroism as a structure. It's efficient, but the implications about it are kind of scary if you think about it. Well, that's my take on it.